Ask her yourself. Take as long as you wish. I must report this to the General immediately. Please excuse me.
You go ask her. I know you still have many questions for Kafka yourself.
Hi. You haven't changed a bit. I'm sorry you have to see me in such a sorry state. Fine, if you prefer. Not friends. I didn't talk to you on the train because I knew you and I would get to talk alone here. Worth waiting for, don't you think? You seem to have a lot to ask me. Elio said he foresaw 3 questions, but they would be the same in essence. If I were to hear one of them, I would then tell you the objective of this trip in all its detail. Since you asked one of the 3 questions, it means everything is going smoothly. Are you ready to hear my answer? Cienjo's Stellaron problem is not directly linked to us. But if you look at it from Elio's perspective, you can't say the Stellaron hunters are completely innocent. We foresaw all this long ago, but chose to remain indifferent until the time was right for us to get involved. Diviner Fu was surprised because she discovered 3 truths. 1. The Stellaron hunters are not enemies of the Cienjo. You know this now, though you refuse to believe it. 2. Someone else brought the Stellaron into the Cienjo and activated it. A result of both internal unrest and external aggression. Traitors on the Luofu and enemies from outside want to overthrow the Cienjo. The Master Diviner is in a hurry to find the General, presumably to inform him of this fact. However, that's all the Master Diviner knows, because Elio withheld key pieces of information from me. He foresaw the Divination Commission using the Matrix of Prescience against me. To guard against setbacks, he ensured that I knew only what he wanted the Cienjo Alliance to know in this moment. As for number 3, even in their wildest dreams, the Cienjo Alliance could never have guessed it. If the Stellaron hunters aren't the cause of all this, then why are Blady and I even here? We're here for you. Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? It's no wonder Fu Shen doesn't believe it either. But the Matrix of Prescience doesn't lie. The answer is just that bizarre. The Stellaron hunters appearing here, Blady getting arrested, me being lured to the Matrix of Prescience. It was all to bring you, the Astral Express crew, to the Cienjo. In the future that Elio chose, the power of the hunt is indispensable. And that's why the Astral Express crew had to come to the Luofu and achieve something important for the Cienjo. You had to establish a connection with the Alliance. And that's why I had to trick you into coming here. I needed you to meet the Luofu's general in person and to help him resolve the Stellaron crisis. I needed the Alliance to owe you a favor. That way, in the future, at the most critical moment, the Cienjo will offer you their help. What do you think? Surprised? The notorious Stellaron hunters did all that just to make you a hero of the Cienjo? Quite the plot twist, don't you think? Like I said, Elio withheld key pieces of information from me. The future holds endless possibilities. Knowing the right thing at the wrong time could spoil all our hard work. There is only one thing I can tell you about the future. In the best and the worst cases, you will eventually have to face Nanook the Destruction. And when that time comes, you will need all the help you can get. It will be a brutal struggle of eonic proportions. Proportions that neither you, nor I, nor the Astral Express will ever be able to reach. In the vast majority of futures, that's when destiny ends. But if we follow Elio's plan, there may be a glimmer of hope on the horizon. You know, even eons can be killed.
Hey, Luocha. You didn't finish telling us about the propagation. Keep going, it's interesting. So, eons can die, huh? Weird. I thought they were invincible.
There is no true invincibility or immortality in the world. Such exaggerations are born of the perspectives of ordinary beings. Nonetheless, ordinary beings could not have orchestrated the fall of the propagation. That eon was slain at the hands of another eon.
I don't understand. They're all eons. Why do they want to fight?
Are you really from the Cienjo? Other eons aside, surely you must know the story of Lan and Yaoshe. Isn't destroying the Eon Yaoshe the Alliance's cherished aim?
Of course I know. Well, I know a little. My mom made me practice with swords all day. I didn't really go to school.
In that case, let's just change the subject. If you don't know about the feud between the Hunt and the Abundance, I'm afraid there's just too much to explain.
Fine. How's this for a subject? What's in the box?
Oh, this one? It's a casket, more commonly known as a coffin. It's for containing the remains of the deceased.
The deceased? Aren't you a merchant?
Yes, indeed. This is just part of my job. I was asked to deliver this coffin to the Xianzhou. Ah, I'd quite forgotten. For long life species, death is probably a distant concept.
Nope. The Cloud Knights spend a lot of time on the battlefield. Death is a common occurrence. It's just, we don't put bodies in boxes. Coffins. In the Xianzhou, people go to the Hall of Karma in the Ten Lords Commission and consecrate the names and jade abacuses of the dead. It's our way of saying goodbye. The Foxians and the Videodora have their own ceremonies. Foxian soldiers place their dead in star skiffs and then let them drift out into the stars. They call it the returning. As for the Videodora, they're more mysterious. They say that when a Videodora is very old or has a fatal injury, they turn into an egg that looks like a pearl. When the shell breaks, they come out looking young again. My mom calls the Videodora long scions. When I was young, she told me stories of how the Videodora could turn into dragons. I don't know if that's true. What do you know? Silent but deadly speaks.
Your mother is right. The Videodora are long scions. They are descendants of the Eon of Permanence. That was why some, but not all, could turn into dragons. The power was a rare inheritance, passed down only to those who could successfully complete numerous rites and challenges. For the inheritor, it was hard to say whether it was a blessing or a curse.
I've heard the story of Long the Permanence and their descendants. Many myths and legends praise the Eon for a rich and immortal life. But for some reason, the Eon disappeared among the stars without a trace. Almost as if they had never existed, leaving only their descendants. Every life has its limit. Even the Eons are not truly immortal and will eventually reach the end of their lives.
Let me ask you one more question. Do you know the person in the coffin?
Yes.
A friend?
No.
So, a sweetheart?
Miss, whatever gave you that impression? The individual in the coffin is neither friend nor relative. We met only once. By chance, I made someone a promise, and so I have to run this errand. Let's leave it at that, shall we? I think we've all had enough rest.